How do I control the cravings? How do I stop emotionally eating? If only I could stop the nighttime cravings, I could lose weight. Does any of that sound familiar? Let's get into the why today and help you walk toward freedom with the battle with the scale. It's here, our 12-day podcast series, so you do not quit and you finish strong in 2024. Yes, I can help you lose weight. I can give you tips and tricks to see the scale drop in December, but really my heart is to help you to understand in the core of who you are that it is possible to walk in freedom. You don't have to constantly struggle with weight. This does not have to be the burden you bear for the rest of your life. You can break the chain in your family, and that, my friend, is a lot of fun. I'm Kelsey Wickenhauser, the host of Kingdom Fit Moms podcast, and over the next 12 podcasts, you're going to get fired up to live in that freedom from the battle with the scale. We're doing 12 days of freedom during the Christmas season, and you can start now on what needs to be done to start losing weight for the last time. Here's what you need to do. Hop down to the show notes, sign up so you get my fun, daily, motivational, Christ-centered emails that will remind you why you're on this journey in the first place. And hint, it's not just to rock your favorite beach outfit in a few months or to look good in your next high school reunion. You need to listen in daily for 12 days and share your takeaways in the free Kingdom Fit Moms Facebook community. Read the daily emails for scripture to motivate you, and you'll also get fun gift ideas for the health lovers in your life, or maybe those who want to be, or maybe even yourself. Plus, there will be surprise promos for all things Fit Moms. Come join us to get focused and get excited to take your health back this holiday season and for the rest of your life. We start Thursday, December 5th, and I can't wait to hang out with you. Hello, December is moving right along. We had what I would call a surprise snow yesterday here in central Illinois. It was gorgeous, those huge flakes, and so today we are going to be outside playing with friends. It's only about an inch or two of snow, but worth going out and sledding and doing all the fun snow things, because you just never know how much we'll get later. Anyway, hope your December is going well and you're feeling in the Christmas spirit, and also that you are mastering your health or at least taking steps in the right direction. So today I thought we could have a discussion around food cravings. This is very common, and I think most of the time I hear food cravings with sugar, but sometimes it's those salty things as well. And I often hear the question, why do I crave sugar when I'm stressed? Here's an example that I kind of wanted to go over with you. So there's a stressful day at work and you had to give a presentation and it didn't go as you wanted to. And you didn't get the great feedback that you had hoped. And then you get home and nothing's on the stove and you just wanted to relax, but now you have to feed everyone and then you have to get backpacks ready for tomorrow. And you generally like to do the bathroom cleaning on Tuesday evening, but you're just tired, but you want to get it done. So you do it finally after everyone's in bed and your husband's waiting for you in the bedroom to come hang out. But first, you find yourself in the pantry with the door closed, eating chips and dip and finishing off with cookies where one becomes several and you feel like you just cannot stop. No, has that never happened to you? Is it just me? Is it just my fit moms? So situations like this are pretty common. And food cravings can be confusing. Emotional eating is definitely a part of it, which we're going to talk about today, but sometimes there are physiologic reasons, and I wanted to touch on just a few of those today. And again, here in Kingdom Fit Moms, my goal is to help you, number one, to change your heart and mind so that weight loss does not become a struggle there. Because if there's always this mind game going on, you are never going to lose weight for good. I had some feedback from my podcast the other day about weight loss medications, and I love the discussion. I love how many of you had, some of you mentioned, I did great on meds like Ozempic. It really changed my life and changed my health. And yes, I understand that. And I'm not anti-medication in general. But from what I see after working with literally hundreds of women is that a medication is not going to change the outcome forever of you walking in freedom. And it's typically not changing the lifestyle patterns behind it. And that is my heart. I want moms to change the way that they see food in their bodies, in their health journey, and change the legacy for their kids so they're not in this position in the first place as much as we can. And so again, yes, we can, when we're looking at emotional eating or when we're looking even more specifically at food cravings, I know that there are different pieces of the puzzle that I may not be touching here on this podcast, but I'm giving a general overview of what I see the most and what needs to really be considered at a heart level, because that's what we're about, is walking in freedom. And if we don't change the heart and if we don't give this over to God, then we're going to be in the same boat in a year from now or beyond. Okay. So physiologic cravings, or, trying to figure out, why am I having these food cravings and I'm not feeling emotionally high or low? I think first of all, it's good to look practically at your calorie input and also your protein input. Maybe in the situation I described, you skipped breakfast and you had bread and coffee for lunch and then an apple and cheese, and then dinner you hardly ate because nobody was sitting down. So it makes sense that you would have food cravings at night because you literally did not eat enough food. Sometimes you may have eaten enough calories, but they were more carb heavy and not dense in protein and fat. And so then you don't feel as satisfied, and then you want more of those sugary carbs in your system. You want that quick hit as your body starts to think, oh, wow, I need more nutrition, and fats and sugar gives you that quick energy, right? Especially sugar. So sometimes it's not a matter of not having enough food, but it's not having the right types of food. And that's why protein is so valuable, because it helps you to feel full longer, 5 hours compared to 3 hours of having something carb heavy. Another thing to consider is your sleep. When you sleep, it helps regulate your hormones. And if your hormones are off, then certain hormones create more cravings. And I would just say rest in general. This is something that is a big part of our program in Fit Moms Academy, is recognizing that we're not in this weight loss journey to just do weight loss and strive and go. Like, the whole point is so that you can enjoy your life and be free from this to do things with your family that you love, and to read a book on the couch, and to go on a walk, and to let your mind be at peace. And so if you're always on high alert, then we need to help you to regulate your nervous system, because this is so important for cravings. And also, if you're always on high alert, then again, cortisol levels go sky high and food cravings will start to skyrocket. So it's all a cycle there that we need to honor our bodies, just like God gave us the instruction, right? Sometimes we forget that in the Bible, He gave us these really simple tools like Sabbath. And we think, oh, that was an old thing, we don't need to do that anymore. But we do. It's very important. Another thing to consider if you're having more food cravings is, has there been an increase in activity or exercise? If that's the case, then your metabolism is revved up and you may actually need more food, which again, then we need to look into the nutrition and make sure that you're getting the right types of food in your system. But if nothing has changed in your diet and you're moving more, then it will cause you to suddenly want to eat more. Another interesting thing to consider, and you can go back to the gut health series, which was, a few months ago. There is a podcast that Leslie talks about yeast overgrowth specifically, and how that can cause you to have sugar cravings. And so if you are noticing that about yourself, and no matter what you do, you continue to go back to sugar, then I highly recommend connecting with Leslie Mullins, physician assistant and founder of the Grateful Gut program, and consider working with her to do a gut reset so that you can eliminate some of the yeast or some of the other bacterial overgrowth so that you can, not be in this constant state of wanting more sugar. And then speaking of hormones, before our periods, our progesterone level goes higher, and we, by nature, need more carbohydrates to help maintain that progesterone level. And so that's often when you're like, oh, I want that pan of brownies. Well, actually, your body is just wanting more carbohydrates at that point in your cycle. And so knowing that, you can prepare with some sweet potatoes or some quinoa to add to your meal, whatever those things are, or a little bit of high quality dark chocolate. And that way you are prepared and you're not eating the whole brownie pan. And then if you get to the point where you're like, well, maybe some of those apply, I'm guessing at least some of those apply to you, but you might recognize that there's more to it. And then we need to start getting curious and asking, what am I actually craving? Now, again, this typically goes to a heart level. Food gives us a quick dopamine hit, and it helps us to feel comfort. So if we are emotionally eating and we are seeing comfort from food, then we have to take some time to press in with the Lord and ask why. What does this mean? So let's just say in the example I gave earlier about the gal who had a presentation that day, there was this disappointment lingering mixed with further expectations, right? Not being met when arriving home, and she was tired and probably not eating enough. Okay, so it was a perfect storm. And then she ended up in the pantry that night binging to feel better about her day. So we have to trace back to what she was actually seeking with that food and what the emotion is there. So she was upset that she did not perform well. That's kind of what spiraled her into this day of emotional eating. And she felt less than. And then when she came home, everything was chaotic and she had to do more than she wanted to. So upon further coaching, we talked her through her relationship with her parents. Again, this is usually where it stems back to, something in childhood. And her father was very hard on her to get good grades and to do well in sports and to just not get in trouble. And if she didn't follow through, then love was withheld and she was ignored. So in that process, she also judged her dad and said that she would never be like that when she grew up. And she made inner vows to also work as hard as she could, no matter what, so that she would not let people down. So making inner vows and lies that we believe as a kid, the thing about these is they hold so much power over us and we don't know it. It remains as part of your subconscious and your subconscious thinking, and then you act in those ways and you don't know why. And it's because you are operating out of this foundational lie or a vow that you've already created. So once all that was uncovered, she realized she was subconsciously seeking comfort because she had made this vow to always perform well. But that's not possible, right? We're human, and she just couldn't do it. And so she felt disappointed that day because she didn't live up to this expectation that she had set for herself. And so we had to renounce that vow and prayed through it and release that she didn't have to perform to receive love, that her love comes from the Father, and that her identity is not in how well she does at work or how well her home is, functioning, but it's just in who she is. And such a weight was lifted off her shoulders. And lifting that weight, it was so huge for her, and recognizing who she is according to Scripture and how God sees her, and then ultimately forgiving her dad because, she was holding on to this bitterness that led her to reap what she was sowing through her judgments. So through, more conversation, the next time she was in a situation like that at work, she just noticed that she was able to go up there with more ease, knowing that her worth is not defined on how well this presentation goes. And she was able to have more of a hands-off and let things go approach in her home because she, instead of having to have things perfect, she was able to show up and just be present with her family and laugh and have more joy. And so that's just the power of figuring out why the emotional eating exists. And then ultimately, she was able to sit down and enjoy dinner with her family. So again, there is this practical part to food cravings because she ate enough food in the future. And she was able to slow down at work and recognize the value of having, 3 nutrient-dense meals and snacks on hand. She wasn't always go, go, go because she started to set boundaries for herself and make herself a priority, even in the midst of these situations where she felt like she had to perform. So for you, Fit Mom, if you are having a lot of food cravings, again, it's really helpful to be in community to help coach you through why the emotions exist or what the emotions are, because sometimes we have trouble even naming them. And then also to figure out what you're actually seeking. Am I seeking comfort from a parent that I never had? And then being able to release that to the Lord and pray through it and start walking in the truth of who I actually am. So again, this is the Fit Mom's way. It's tracing the fruit, the bad fruit in our lives, so to speak, back to the why or the root, and helping to break that off and walk in the truth of who we're actually created to be, mixed with all of the practical pieces of weight loss and our busy lives and what's going on in our body and how to eat well so that we, aren't setting ourselves up to fail. So it's a beautiful process of inviting the Lord in so many different areas. Yes, in our minds and our hearts, and also understanding the body and restoring the glory of God in real food. Are you ready to take the next step and go all in on your health journey? Do you know that you need a community of like-minded women to spur you on to better health and create the change you've longed for years? Are you tired of going from diet to diet only to end up where you were before? Well, if you know you're ready, then come join us inside of Fit Moms Academy today, where you'll learn to break the cycle of going from diet to diet and truly lose weight for the last time. We're not just a weight loss program. We're a community where you gain accountability, coaching, and strategies to simply lose weight with Christ at the center of it all. You will learn how to simplify your food choices, to stop using food as a coping mechanism. You'll learn how to make the healthy choice the easy choice, and ultimately invite God into the journey so you can heal from why the struggle exists in the first place. Weight loss is going to be so much less complicated than ever before. And there's really no reason not to join today. You can get started for as little as $97 when you sign up. Make this the best Christmas gift ever to yourself, the gift of amazing health that will carry over to every single area of your life. Get excited to transform into your most confident self, all for God's glory. Go to kelseywickenhauser.com/join today to get started, or hop down to the show notes for more information.